or subscribes. It's going to be sweet. All right, so welcome to my first stream. Anyone who wants to join in on the VOD afterwards, since there's only one viewer at the moment. Zerenjo, or I don't even know how to say that. Zerengo wants to be a part of this too, but I'm not sure if he's ever going to show up. But first things first, I got a little notepad here of all the things I wanted to talk about. So obviously I decided to make this stream because my girlfriend makes it look easy, and I've never seen anything like this in any YouTube video. So you have everything that's recorded beforehand, like track days and just driving around the street like Matt Farah's Smoking Tire. But that is not good enough for me. I would like to see an actual live stream of people either being on a racetrack or driving down the road or working on their car. And I've never seen it. So I've decided to just make this and make it happen. Obviously, I got a whole list of all the people that kind of inspired me to do this, because they all kind of either make crazy shit or make crazy videos. And I think it'd be fun. Right. Yeah. I mean, I've even talked to many people, including you, Halo 2 Surfer, Will, about all this stuff, and it's just not. I don't think everyone's even tried to make it possible. And I know the internet's kind of sketchy around different tracks and different just locations altogether. Like here, if I were to try to use my phone, it'd be a little iffy. But I do plan on using my phone as the hotspot to do the stream. Maybe actually make it kind of semi-low quality, maybe even 360p. And then move up from there and see if there's any stuttering. I probably need someone like you, Will, to actually, jump in and be like, oh, yeah, you're still stuttering. This is just going to look bad. But hopefully, I got this Unreal 4K camera right here. It's this one, yeah. That one is word. Cool. I'm glad you could do that. This camera actually right now is recording at 720p at 120 frames per second, so it's just really smooth compared to the other cameras. Obviously, this is just the webcam over here on the Alienware, and this is the Logitech 615, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's in my channel subscription, but this one's just going to be kind of like the secondary camera, the one I'm pointing to right there, and then this one's going to be my main camera, just hanging from my sunroof. That's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I essentially just want to drive my car on the track and do actual track days. What they have is actually kart time trials. And, it's mostly autocross stuff, but they also do track days. So at Thompson Speedway, you have Palmer, Cannon, which is in New Hampshire. Palmer's in Massachusetts. I think New Jersey, maybe, if they're lucky. Also, if they're lucky, they're going to try to do Lime Rock. I think Lime Rock would be really cool. Though I heard it's a little somewhat boring, but at the same time really challenging. So I don't know if I'm going to be super into it. But I heard Palmer's a little sketchy. There's no runoffs. Cannon's just kind of an easy thing. But I actually was able to do time trials with kart. And I actually have some results here that I've loaded up. Let's see. I've only done 3 track days. 2 actual full track days. The other one was kind of like a half on, half off. This one right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. You totally can. So this one is DSP, which is like a stock class, is what I want to stick with for the year. And I want to be able to record myself doing these track days with kart. It's usually takes about 8 hours to do. Yeah, you can see it clear. Sweet. Awesome. Because I'm hoping I didn't have to like zoom in and just be like, do this kind of crap. I hate doing that. Yeah, so DSP, it's pretty much just a stock class for a D class car. I have no idea how a WRX got in the D class, but it's a little wonky. They're not really too close to the actual rules. I know if you were to go through SCCA, it would be a lot more legit, but they try their best to get within autocross rules. The Ford Focus is the guy that I'm looking after. He's going to be your fastest for this group. And if I were him, I would stick with DSP. I don't know who he is per se. I've just seen him at the track day, and he seems like pretty quick. I want to be able to beat him this coming year and actually just demolish anyone who's in this class. And then I feel like I can start moving up into other things like modified. They don't really have like a modified class. They start to get into SS or XP, and XP is just like pretty much anything you want to do with the car, you could do it. I want to stick with this stuff. Just keep it nice and simple. Tires, wheels, suspension. Very light mods to the engine. There's no extra turbocharging you can do. You can't do any of that crap. So it's going to be underpowered. At least compared to the Focus, the ST, I think, is a turbocharged engine. And if it's already turbocharged, you can kind of up the turbo power on it. But, I don't think he's probably going to go much farther than what he's at. This was actually the first track they ever did. I got minute 34, and I was actually able to beat an FRS Scion. I never actually saw him again after that day by a couple tenths of a second. And it was a cool dude, but yeah. I mean, that's what kind of let me know that I was like, I could probably do this. If I can beat a car that's almost 500 pounds less than mine, with almost around the same power, this will be fun. So, cut to, let's see. Oh, I close all the other ones. Okay, cut to the end of the year last year. I went to another time trial, same exact thing. I, for some reason, put myself in CSP class. I should have been in DSP. Obviously, the Focus ran a quicker time, probably about by a second, 126, which is really quick because there actually was an M3 involved with that. His M3 was pretty darn good. He got a 124. So, for a car that has 100 more horsepower and I want to be able to get a 126, it's going to be quite hard, but I think I could do it. I got a couple upgrades I want to show you. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, I really hope it works out. I'm a little nervous about it, but I think I can hone in some driving skills here. Where was I on this? Yeah, so I was able to shave off 2 seconds from yeah, it's easy over solid connection. Oh, that's dope. 4.8 megabits a second. Yeah, that's not bad. Thompson Speedway, there are sections of the track that are like a little iffy. They're like at 1, maybe 2 bars 4G. And then there are other parts of the track where are pretty much golden. So I hope it works out. I've used hotspot on my phone before with this laptop, and I've been able to stream, YouTube videos, no problem. Uploading, I'm not really sure how well it is, but hopefully it's okay. Let's see. So yeah, where was I? So I was talking about my car. I was in the middle of the Miatas. I was able to shave off 2 seconds. The 2 seconds was, I think it was directly related to probably about like 80% just the fact that I changed my front camber. I changed a lot. Probably, if I were to guess, it'd go from like negative 1.5 to almost 3. Negative 3 in the front. So they're wearing down right now commuting to work, but it felt so much better. I was able to get a little bit of oversteer, which is what I wanted, just to come into the corner. And it just felt a lot better. I was getting way too much understeer in almost every corner the first time I went out. I don't know if it was just the way I was driving because I was used to the track this time. So that's why I say 80%, more like 20% of probably driving experience to actually get me a little quicker. But that was exciting to be able to just take 2 seconds off just from an almost a completely untouched car. Maybe a little bit of tire pressure and then that camber. Which makes me a little bit more excited. I think I can actually pull off an extra 6 seconds on this guy and maybe beat him out throughout the year. When it comes to maybe just driver skill and consistency, and maybe getting some help from the viewers, and tips, tricks, and all that stuff, and all these modifications I'm going to show you in just a second. So yeah, if you want to see the car, this is the car that I want to beat. He's annoying. Actually, at the last track day, I saw this car crash. It was very sad. This car, a freaking Paseo, I think is what it is. Is that what that is, Will? I have no idea. Paseo, or it's like a Tercel, but it's just a different body type. It's almost like a hatch. He got the same time as me. He has been doing this for a long time. It's pretty ridiculous. And then the Seth, I've never seen the Seth guy. It's 2017. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny. He got the pretty much the same time. I don't know if I can find it, actually. You probably can. He's actually in the XB class because of the roll K. He's got all kinds of things done to him. What the hell is that? I got a virus, Will. Save my computer. Yeah, Toyota Paseo. XB class. I don't know why he's that. I think it's because he added his own custom manifold and turbo. So, therefore, he's no longer in any other crazy stuff. But, I mean, he's not getting, like, anything for PSI. It's like, I don't remember exactly what he told me, but it was crap for PSI. A Monza. No, probably not a Monza. It's this guy right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, 127. You got to you 127 with that car. I mean, it's a really light car. It's front-wheel drive. But it's, I don't know, it's just hilarious. And then like a 318 Xi, an all-wheel drive BMW from the, what is it? That's probably late 90s, mid-90s, doing a 123. That's weight for you. That's just what weight does for you. Oh yeah, Chevy. Oh, you're saying that you're seeing. Oh yeah, I beat him. I think. Where is that? 133. No, 132.4. It was me. Actually, when we did our time trial, it was me, Paul, and that Chevy Monza. He seemed like he was like a 40 plus, and that thing it looked ridiculous. You should have seen it. It had a cage. The whole rear end was up in the air. But I'm pretty sure I beat it. 134.4. Where am I? No, yeah, you got me by 0.1 second. But still, it was a great car to go up against. I know the second lap I was able to keep up on. Was it the second lap I did good on, or the first lap? Maybe I was catching on with a cooldown lap. I don't know. But it was such an interesting car to be paired up against, and everyone was super stoked when we actually did our laps to actually get our time. Essentially, it's warm up your tires lap, then 2 actual time laps, and then a cooldown lap. And we pretty much went out and came back in at the same exact time, and everyone was stoked about that. You want to be as efficient as possible when you're doing this, and when you're doing your cooldown lap, it's almost like a hot lap. It's just slightly slower because you want to get everyone done in the day. Yeah, fastest times of the day. I would love to be in these numbers. race car P1. I love that. That thing was nuts. It was half carbon fiber, half pure engine and scariness. And then this Corvette had so much aero, it was like he was actually doing time attacks over in Australia. It was wonderful. It's a beautiful car. It's probably doing like 155 on the straight. But yeah, enough of those things. So yeah, I'm not actually part of CART yet. I'm gonna sign up for next year. I gotta talk to him about my actual setup. I'm gonna go over the setup actually right now. I'm gonna go pick it up in a second. So either my first or second stream will be building this. So this is just where I'll be putting my power inverter. I don't know what the stream can see. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it, can you? That's good. Alright, so I'll be putting my power inverter inside of here. A power brick for my computer inside of here. And I'm going to be locking it all down with a bunch of these. And hopefully these will help make it pass the inspection, because they want everything locked down. If you have anything in your car, it needs to be locked down. So if you have a spare tire, it needs to be locked down in the back. If you really need your baby seat in there, you can lock that down. But you know, it's all certainly possible. I got this little piece of aluminum because I'm gonna make this top part. You could totally see this. This is great. So you can make this top part nice and flush. I'm gonna put my laptop on here and make sure it breathes easily. With the aluminum they're gonna put on top of there, it's gonna be nice and solid. I'm gonna strap the laptop down. Hopefully the laptop will be this part will not close on me and the G-forces. I hope it doesn't. But I think the straps might help with that, the position I leave it in. So yeah, that'll be probably streaming for 8 hours. I'm going to use my car battery. I know this BMW has like a 50-pound battery. And the 50-pound battery is super... I think it's going to be good enough, especially with all the times I'm going to be on the track charging my laptop and charging all the things that need to stay on in order to keep the stream going. Because I'm going to be on the track about 5 times. Oh, 1 second. I'm going to move all this stuff back. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. I think it's gonna be. I think it'll last a long time, especially. So, I bought one of these guys. This is I don't know if you could see it up here. It's probably better to see right there in this bottom one. Will obviously knows about this. This is a way that you can check the amperage going through a line. And I just checked my laptop while streaming and recording, which I'm not recording right now. I'm just going to use the stream as my recorded VOD. And this told me about 120 watts while streaming that this laptop is pulling, which is next to nothing. Even with the screen on, even while it's sending information to the other screen that I'm looking at right now, where Streamlabs is on. It's going to be pretty incredible. I think it's going to work out. we've experimented with this a long time ago when Halo 3 came out, and we decided to use a power inverter to run Halo 2 while waiting for Halo 3 to come out outside of a GameStop. Well, you were a part of that, weren't you? I'm pretty sure you were. Maybe it was Jay. Maybe it was all of us. I don't even know. But, yeah. You wish you were there. Yeah. It wasn't. So maybe Jay showed up later. I don't know. My brother and I were just like, we got to do this. Yeah, it was Jay. Yeah, so we're like, we got to do this. We decided to bring a literal TV and another little monitor and set up an Xbox and play Halo 2 outside of a GameStop the night before Halo 3 came out in the Chevy Impala. Yep, correct. And it just handled it. We were probably doing it for like 2 hours. So this is also kind of where I get this idea from. Like, you know what? If a car battery can handle that and didn't die afterwards, I know you can. If you discharge a car battery, kind of like a lithium ion, you're actually destroying the life of it, unlike a cell phone, a lithium ion battery. But I think it'll be just fine, especially if I'm doing 5-6 runs. Each run's going to be about 20-25 minutes. I gotta wait for the car to cool down or heat up, and I think while I'm lining up, so it's probably gonna be like 30-35 minutes while I'm waiting to get on the track. And during that time, the laptop will be charging. Maybe I might even turn off the power inverter just to make sure that it is not draining the battery too much, because this laptop runs for about 3 hours. It's a gaming laptop. It's the Alienware R3. It's got a 1070 in it, so it handles all this streaming business, no problem. Yeah. Let's see. So that's the modification to the car I'm going to be doing. That's probably my second or third stream, is me actually building it and installing it. And the whole stream is probably going to be running off my phone just for proof of concept. And then while it's running off my phone, I'm going to try to install it. So my laptop will be thrown around, kind of zip tied in place while the stream's running. That'll be pretty interesting. Probably slightly comical. And then just drive down the road and see if it holds up. See if my screen doesn't wobble away on me. Do a couple hard shifts or something, see what happens. And I'll be working on my camera position. So right now I have the Unreal 4K as my main camera. So if I just take this camera, your bottom right part of the screen, this is my Logitech. This is like a $30 camera on eBay. This is probably going to be towards my feet. So for later, when I talk about this, oh, you can't see any of that, can you? I'll probably have you can't see any of that. So I'm probably going to have a light down there, but those are my pedals. And then I'll probably put this specific camera on my pedals inside the car so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to do a little heel toe if I can. If not, you just won't see it then. Yeah, I'm going to need a light source. I might even put a light source inside the car. Why not? I got this right up here. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a Husky LED light that's just kind of giving this kind of ambiance. It's kind of like a soft filter for this room. So this camera, the Unreal 4K, the reason why I got this is an action camera. It's going to be great for wide views on the track, so I could see everyone around me. I could see all of out the front window and the mirrors as well. This camera also has the ability, obviously, to stream. So all you really do is once you plug it in to your computer, it just says as webcam or as storage device, and you just click on use as webcam, and boom, it just starts working. It's beautiful. and at 720 at 120 frames per second, it's desirable, especially for the track. So that camera right there is going to be the one hanging from the roof. I got this nice little mount for the roof. It'll be all right. This thing doesn't want to focus, so I'll just put it right over here. It's better. Actually, I like this camera. It's got so much white, so much light. It's nice. I don't know what the fuck this is. All right, but that's cool. This sticks no problem. It's incredible. So yeah. So I'm gonna hook up both these cameras. I'm probably not gonna run my actual laptop camera. I might, depending on where my computer's gonna be put. If I put it right next to me in the passenger seat, I'll probably run it because I'll have the camera facing me. And then you can see my driving. Oh, it's not. Well, it's not going to be on the roof. And I think the part. For sure. Yeah. It's not going to be on the roof because it's actually going to be on the sunroof on the interior of the car. So it's going to be facing out the window. They actually don't mind people mounting things to their car. I've actually saw a guy do an Auto X. It was half on track, half off track, and he put an action camera on his fender, and they didn't give him crap. So yeah, they don't mind him being outside the car. They just want to make sure that it's absolutely secure. Again, I'm gonna run over all this with them, probably probably at the first track day. I'm gonna go early, make sure everything's all set up. But I'm going to be one of the first people in there to go get the inspection. And I'm going to go over with them all the different ways that I secured everything. And hopefully they're going to be okay with it. And you're probably going to be live too while I'm going over it with them. It should be interesting to hear what they say. Let's see. So yeah. It's going to be a lot of zip tying. It's going to be a lot of fabricating. But it'll work. So, within the first streams. So, I think the very first one, if it's not that little basket that's going to hold my laptop in, it's going to be this guy. My suspension is way too low. If you were to look inside my channel and the very first video, you could see almost the rear wheel is rubbing against the fender, and that is just a no-go, especially with the wheels that I'm about to show you. I'm ditching the I have the CSL replica wheels on the car at the moment. I'm just gonna put this back up. Stop holding it. So I have the CSL replica wheels at the moment. They're 24 pounds. That's what I used at the track. It was 245 in the back, 225 in the front. That is going to change. It's just not enough tire. Even for the amount of power that my car has, it's just not enough tire. So the offset is actually probably maybe 42, something like that on those wheels. I don't know exactly. They're different. The one up front I think is like an 8.5 and the back is like a 9.5. I went ahead and got these. This is the wonderful and beautiful. Will, you did not see this yet. These are the Apex 17 by 9. Nice little hubcap in there. Pop that out. 17 by 9. Super thick. And that's going to house... what's going to be on top of those is these tires. Potenza RE71s. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see that. But these are going to be super sticky. These are 255s all the way around. So no matter what, it's going to be wider tires. The tires that I'm running now are all season. They're practically run flats. And they they are really crappy on the track. I mean, they squealed right, they felt right, they were telling me exactly what I needed to know before I started losing control, and I think that's awesome. I was told online that these were actually the same way. They tell you exactly when you're going to start losing your shit, and that's the kind of security I need. At the same time, these will have way better turning. But right now, I'm already rubbing on my fenders, so I decided to get this guy. This was $30 on eBay. This will probably be a video on its own when I install the rims and tires. Oh yeah, it gets super quiet when I not face the mic. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to get this thing. This is a fender roller, and I heard a lot of bad reviews about this thing because it is an eBay POS and it looks like it was actually used. I don't really care. It looks like it does the job. I put it together. It doesn't need to be neat. It's just going to work. So with the wider track that I'm going to get from these tires because of the offset and the fender rolling, and the fact that they're going to be stickier and the tires are wider themselves, I'm hoping to actually get at least 4 seconds off, maybe more, from my track time. Bent my fender. That's actually that was a review. Someone actually said that, like, you know, my fender, it was just bending all kinds of wrong ways, and I was like, well, what way did you want it to bend? Was it because your tire wasn't fitting still, and you decided to get 25s? It's not even a size, 25s. It's just more than 24, and it's ridiculous. It's when people are wanting to do fender rolling themselves and they care so much about the look that they're blaming the fender roller. They need to get it professionally done, or go buy actual fenders that fit your wheels, or buy the right wheels or the right spacers. You know. But anyway. It's just cheap people. So yeah, those wheels. So my wheels right now are about 24 pounds. Yeah, mine's not for looks. No way. I got dents all up in my car. I'd show you a picture of my car, but you already saw that in the other video if you saw it. Yeah, it's not really about looking pretty on the track unless you got sponsors on your car. But these wheels are about 16.55 pounds, 17 by 9s, with an offset of 30, ET30, whatever that is. I don't know if that's a negative or positive, but it's a lot lighter than the wheels I have now. So not only including the grip that I'm going to be getting out of these wheel and tire combo, I'm also going to be able to get a lot from the unsprung weight. So I'm assuming maybe about 6 pounds per wheel of unsprung weight I'm going to be able to save by switching to this setup. So the results, I think, are just going to be obvious. Even if I drive like shit, I'm probably still going to get 2 seconds out of it, which would be dope. And then I also got these guys. I don't know if anyone can see this. These are 2-piece rotors. I just lost the locking nut too. These actually have, I think, aluminum hat on the inside or some other lightweight metal. And then on the outside, it's going to be just just your regular old rotor, but they're drilled and slotted. These actually save about 4 pounds per wheel. So now we're looking at 8 pounds plus 24, 32 pounds of unsprung weight just disappearing, which is really cool. if I'm getting new rotors, I got to get new pads. I'm not going to get any track pads because I might have to use this car on the street a lot. But I got something that was be able to handle the heat. I actually like the way my pads are working. The pads that are on the car now are just your regular old stock, not even BMW. I think they were even just like the lowest end you could find on like ECS or whatever. The guy that I got the car from was just it just seemed like a really nice kid that was more about the looks than the actual raceability of the car, which is why he's got the CSL replica wheels on it and lowered a lot. But I got the Hawk Street 5.0 pads. I guess they're like the HPS replacements. I guess the heat is a little bit higher for these, but you'll still get the same amount of bite, maybe even less amount of bite is what some people are saying than stock pads. I don't know why that is. I think that might just be because those people aren't used to a more performance type pad where you kind of have to break them in a bit. But I don't mind. My brakes are always there. So a lot of people say that for the 330 Ci, the brakes are a little overpowered for the car because I mean the car's without someone in. I think it's like 3,100 pounds or something like that. 32 whatever is the number that they use on the internet, and that number is actually including the driver. Yeah, these pads are will be plenty. The brakes will be plenty. As you saw with that rotor, that's a pretty big rotor. I'm not really gonna mess with the back rotors. I don't get any weird vibrations out of them, and they seem like they're fine. I'm just gonna probably get. Oh yeah, I got new pads for front and back, so I'm just gonna rebed the pads in the back. If anyone has any reservations about that, feel free to update me on that on a future video or something. I've used many pads on a single rotor, so I think it should be fine. Let's see. So yeah, the brakes will probably be a separate video altogether. So I got probably 1, 2, 3, 4 videos lined up for the future, at least. Just to see if I can get my car quick enough for these race days. And I'm also going to be doing some training for myself. Before I get to that, I'd also like anyone's opinion, whoever watches this VOD later on, so let's see, let's go to Twitch. Let's go to my channel. It's going to be like channelception. All right, pause that. So right here, you got the Twitch pics. I got a bunch of ideas that I want to do. Obviously, I'm going to change it up because I already got the 2-piece front rotors. They were on sale. I just went for it. But I have some ideas that I also could do that would make me maintain my class. eBay headers is a little iffy. I want to be able to do an ECU. eBay headers and ECU would probably go hand in hand because once you do eBay headers, you have your seat. Your check engine light will pop up. But if you get the proper ECU or piggyback, it'll make your check engine light go away again. But at the same time, if I do get eBay headers, I'll probably just go get my emissions done right before I do it. And then switch them out so I actually have past emissions for quite a while. Obviously, large carbon fiber wing and carbon fiber hood. Hood is minus 20 pounds. If I could find like a used M3 hood that's actually aluminum compared to my steel hood, and it's the weight savings between carbon fiber and the aluminum is actually like a pound and a half, something like that. I found that out from Speed Factory. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. But the carbon fiber hood's actually pretty cheap, maybe like $700 on eBay. I don't care if it fits weird, as long as it latches down and I find a way to make the latch work, and it doesn't mess with my aero too much. $200 for 20 horsepower seems fine, but $500 for 20 horsepower seems really bad. Where is $200 for 20 horsepower? I'm just trying to figure that out. I think, where did I do that? $20, 10 pounds. It was like $250 for almost 20. Yeah, your ECU. So it's interesting because the $500 is probably more towards the 20 horsepower, and it really depends on what I do with it. So if I do the eBay headers with the ECU and probably an intake as well, the intake is probably going to be some eBay crap too, because you don't really need anything crazy. You just want it to flow right. So I'll make sure to just have a good filter, and also a good just a nice long tube going to the ground. And I would make sure that the filter has its own type of filter for, water and whatnot. The ECU is going to be, if I were to get like a crazy ECU, it would be around the $500 range, and that's where the 20 horsepower comes in. So, and the only way to get that kind of 20 horsepower out of just an ECU flash is to make sure that your headers and your intake and your car's running properly. Oh, I forgot about something too. Probably the very first stream. One of the things my car really needs is the Vanos. Vamonos. Check engine light. That's what I want to do. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to just take apart my car and fix that, so I have no longer the crappy low end that I have. So I need to do that before I do anything about ECU. But I'm looking for 200 plus wheel. Now right now it's at like 220 to the crank. So 200 plus wheel isn't really crazy, but for a car, my car has 150,000 miles on it, so it's probably right down more like probably 180 wheel. So if I can get 20 horsepower wheel out of it, or 30 horsepower crank, I'd be happy. Because I feel like that'll be competitive. It does 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, just shy, maybe right around 6 seconds, if I really make it chirp. But it does its thing. It feels nice. It reminds me of my old WRX. I used to have an 03 WRX Bug-Eye, and it was a wagon, and I had the tuner for it, Cobb tuning, and that was awesome. From 0 to 60, it was great because it was all-wheel drive. But the amount of power, it felt like my WRX, and that was nice. It was nice to have that feeling back when I finally got a better car. But yeah, the splitter, I'm really interested in getting. And also a wing I'm really interested in getting, because I heard that even at between 40 and 60 miles per hour, you can actually get quite a bit of downforce, and that would help out these specific tires a lot, because the more weight on those tires, the better you're going to be. The limited slip differential, I heard a lot through forums that it's going to be, once you start getting better tires on your car, that the rear end loves to slip out on you. Once you start getting really good at it, especially if you try to get what was it? Suspension upgrade there. Your sway bars. If you start getting everything really really tight and solid in your suspension, that your rear end's just going to be all kinds of sloppy if you don't have a limited slip differential. I'm not really too worried because I've already been on the track, and I could probably deal with it. I'll just change my camber a little bit in some spots and just adjust my driving habits. Currently the gearing in the rear end is I think 293. Probably get into that when I jump into the Assetto Corsa, because I want to get into that too, because that's going to be a part of my my training, I guess you could say, to get me into the 6-second range. So yeah, it's a 293 or something like that. It's pretty tall. It's yeah, highway gears, exactly. Yeah, they wanted efficiency out of this car, while the M3's in the low threes, I think, and they already have a limited slip differential for that. I can actually choose to use the same gearing, if I do get a limited slip differential, and it's just $1,000 straight up. It's like $999 or something like that, $995. You can either get a helical or a 1.5. You guys can tell me which one would be better. I'm gearing more towards the 1.5 just because I kind of like that analog feeling. The helical just reminds me of something that would be like you can't really tell what's going on, and I'd like to know what's going on. I feel like it'll help my learning curve once I start getting into like crazier cars or crazier modifications. $1,000 might have to be. Yeah, might have to be get bushing and crack fix. See, that's the issue. I do have a crack in the bottom of my car, so it would be a lot more than $1,000 if I were to get the limited slip differential, because I would fix that crack, and I think that crack fix would be $1,000 on its own. The bushings I might be able to get pretty cheap, but I'd probably get M3 type bushings, or aluminum solid, depending on how I'm feeling about how the car's performing. But yeah, so but the also the other issue with having a quicker gear ratio because of my final drive there, the limited slip differential, I would be worried about just shifting gears too much. My linkage is kind of crap in my car at the moment. I know there's a way to fix it, but until I actually want to pull it apart, get a new flywheel and clutch, which is another thing I want to add to this list, I would definitely consider fixing the linkage. And my shifting isn't really all the greatest right now. I kind of like the fact that when I'm at Thompson, I'm kind of hanging out in third gear almost the whole time. I'm kind of bogging around the slower turns a little bit, but if I can carry this speed, it would be more beneficial to just hang out in the lower end of third gear than switch down to second. And if I actually get a 3-point whatever rear end differential, it will make it a necessity for me to shift. And I don't know if I'm really ready for that kind of commitment yet. I don't want to have to drone all the time in the highway too. 3,500 RPMs at freaking 75. Yeah, is that what it is? 323? Maybe the M3? Or are you just saying 323? It's probably going to be 323 as the next setup. I might even be able to find a middle ground, like not 411. I was going to say 311. Maybe is it 319? I don't know. I don't even know idea. But it's going to be, I'm guessing, yeah. I don't know. It'll be. It's not now. It's later. But if it gets a lot of votes, I'll probably just go for it and just see how it works out. Because these are all things that I'm like on the edge for all of them. Except for maybe intake, I'll probably just do that. Just because I know there's all kinds of plastic I want to remove in my car. And it's not like something that'll cause a CEL. And obviously I already did that. Secondary air pump delete, also CEL issue, which, I can deal with, and it's a very easy mod. It's like $15, $20. Well, I don't know if you know what the secondary air pump is, but the money light, you may have to clarify. Oh, you know what that is. Okay. Emissions crap, exactly. I mean, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, speaking of money light, so my other car, in order for me to even get started on this stuff, my other car needs to be fixed. And I just bought a $500, which is good news for us, Will. I just bought a $500 brand new IMA battery for my Civic. If anyone wants to see us mess with one of those batteries, that would be awesome. But I'm going to have to take that out. It was 60 pounds of nickel cadmium. Yeah, $500 actually is pretty cheap. But I was able to find a deal on eBay. It's on its way. Right now, the registration is on hold. And I have to go do emissions because of that specific battery. Yep, it's sad. But it should be interesting because I've been wanting to make an electric bicycle. And I think these high amperage batteries would be interesting. When I saw him at Stop and Shop. My car, probably. My Civic all beat up to shit. But it's a hybrid, and that's going to save me money. Gets 51 miles per gallon, especially after I get this new IMA battery in it. Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah. I'm excited to get that installed and see that check engine light go away and actually be able to hold a charge. If you guys actually want to see a video of me doing that, I could totally do it. Also, if you want to see me mess around with the old battery and see what's going on with that, I'm totally willing to do that. Because electronics has always been interesting to me. I don't know if you could see the outside of my room, but it's just filled with recording crap. I love electronics. How you doing that? You're gonna get one of those like giant heaters that you kind of like post up in the corner of the room, one of those propane types, or like electric, like industrial. Yeah, that would be cool. I got like a space heater in this room. That's pretty much what I'm going to use for my little. I have a tent for a garage. You guys will definitely see that later. Yeah. So I guess I can move on here. I got pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Racing seats. Actually, weird idea for the racing seats. I was thinking about actually using the original electronic, slide forward, slide back, tilt, all that stuff, and just put a racing seat where my seat is currently. Because I don't really care about the weight savings so much as the convenience of being able to get to the back, because that's just where I like to put all my tools, not just in the trunk, but in the back there. Either when I'm not using the car for the track or for anything else. I mean, it's going to be mostly just a track car. Like these tires, you won't ever see it unless it's actually at the track. I got a nice little tool behind me. This Milwaukee red lithium. This is the fuel M18. This is not their medium strength, but this does 212 foot-pounds. And I actually couldn't take off my lug that I used, that I put on my wheel with a regular torque wrench. I couldn't take my lug off. So this thing's freaking powerful. So that'll be my quick and easy way to get my tires on and off when I'm at the track, instead of just carrying around a giant piece of metal and going one by one forever.
see. Yeah, sway bars. I don't know. I might actually try to find a way to put heated elements into my racing seats if I do get racing seats. My aunt's a seamstress. She might be able to add a zipper to the cushions that are removable on a racing seat. You guys should let me know if that's a good idea. I just love my heated seats. They're so great. Right. Yeah, it's easy. It's fun. It's easy. It's fun. It's fine. Right. And the fact that I already have the wiring, I could just splice it, or read the wiring schematic, call it a day. And I don't really care about the weight. If you guys think that, saving the 30 pounds per seat is an advantage, I mean, it is kind of an advantage, but it's in the center of the car. It's not like really changing the bias of the way the car performs. It's just a heavier car. It's just as if I ate too much for 2 years. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'd rather have the comfort and the ability to get in and out of the back seat and have my heated seats and stay in the seat while racing. That's all I want. Maybe, I don't know. My brother might convince me. That's his vote. He's already like, dude, racing seats, lightweight, awesome. What else? I can run over to Assetto Corsa now. So, let's see. Oh, nature got everything here. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen most of these, Will. Remember Brian's mobile one? That was the guy taking apart the heads on the Forester. Redheaded dude. Eric the car guy. He was awesome. I love watching these Mr. Fix-It kind of videos. Speed Academy. I love what they did to their M3. That's very recent. Car Throttle. It's just some British guy. Colin Furs. You haven't seen Colin Furs? I feel like that's the one you would resonate most with. He builds the stupidest things. I'm sure you might have seen him. He's actually not really a car guy. And he's kind of made fun of on Car Throttle channel about it most recently. He likes building things like flamethrowers and Wolverines. Yeah, I think I probably even showed you at some point. I probably was like, "You got to see this, dude." In his he's got like a little shed, right? He made an underground bunker in his backyard just for the crap of it, just to see if he could, like a bomb shelter. He's made a rocket bicycle, I think. Yeah, right. I've seen them all. They're all great. Adam LZ, he actually was a BMX guy. I liked him because you could tell that he just kind of started off the same way, like just being like, screw it, just make some YouTube videos of me just doing BMX stuff. And then he was like, oh, I want to start drifting. And he just had the money because of his BMX career and his YouTube career. And it's just started drifting really, really well. So that was really cool. Hoonigan. I just love what they do to customize their cars. Eventually, I want to be able to I want to put a 2.0 liter Subaru engine in my BMW 3-4 years down the road and see if I can win a time attack in my class with that setup. And I think Hoonigan would love that car because it goes against pretty much the norm. If you want to do BMW, they're like, throw a V8 in it, an LS, and then go crazy with it. Or, use the M3 engine, or use a different straight six. And I'd rather just go with a 4. Keep the weight nice and centered, and boost the living crap out of it. see if I can get some efficient times. MCM, that's Mighty Car Mods. They are amazing. I love that they are just a bunch of dudes that are not mechanics and decided to make the coolest cars. I love the Z and the Gramps, the wagon, the super wagon they have. Super Gramps. Cletus McFarlane. Another guy that I love what he does with his action cameras and being able to really show his excitement. And I think I want to possess kind of that excitement when I'm doing my videos. Engineer Explained, I want to be able to explain things as well as he does. I know that when he first started off, he was really rocky, and I can respect the fact that he just kind of pursued. And he kind of kept that weird, awkward whiteboard out from start to finish. It's just kind of his thing now. He kind of made it his own. I think that's really cool. Eric the Car Guy, I already went through that guy. Calling for his NMZ. Smoking Tire, Matt Farah, he is really cool. He gets to drive other people's cars on a track almost. I mean, basically, yeah. He gets to drive other people's cars practically illegally and gets away with it on some random streets. I actually got a friend right now. It's actually my cousin's fiance. He's got a channel at the moment. It is called. Let's see. I can find it. Let's go to the Facebook. You could see all this. Greg. He just started a channel about just driving around, finding really cool roads.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. This one's called Let's Go for a Drive. And he's got a really cool GTI. He was able to go to the last autocross that I did with him. And he got a really good time, but he hit a cone. It was rough. But he really enjoyed it, and he loves driving his car. He loves talking about different places to drive, visiting other people that are doing just whatever they can to their cars because they enjoy it. It's pretty inspirational. It reminds me of the Smoking Tire. Where's that list again? Yeah, so Matt Farah, he does a great job. I just love watching the random places that he mounts cameras in order to test people's cars and the way he reacts to the cars. And he's like, oh, yeah, you should probably get better tires for this car. I've definitely seen him say something like that. Oh, yeah. EE. Yep. Engineering Explained. Yeah. So that's cool. And of course, Top Gear. As you can see, my little little basket for all my widgets. When I follow myself, my little wheel falls into the helmet. I had a lot of fun making that. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to use that till way past 50 follows, but it's still really cool. I can't wait to use it. I was surprised I was able to make it. It actually takes a lot of patience. I have a few pictures on my Twitter, which I think is actually in my subscription. I have no idea. But this is a back blacker. I'm gonna do it again. I just love seeing it. Bits you can see. Right through the mouth. It's great. And it just hangs out right in his chest area. It's like he's holding it together with his arms. But yeah. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, so definitely check Greg out. He's a cool dude. Was there anything on here? Oh, my hybrid battery. Ugh. It's going to be a pain to install. So yeah, I'm going to jump over to Assetto Corsa. So the reason why I wanted to do Assetto Corsa as part of this, because obviously I can't start working on my car every single day in order to get views from people to join in on this channel. So I want to be able to just practice my driving. So if I take this camera again, here's my setup. My audio is not going to sound as good unless I'm sitting here, because I have this Profire 2626, and it is attached through Firewire and Firewire to Thunderbolt, then Thunderbolt to Thunderbolt 2, and then finally into a computer. I practically have everything installed as I possibly can into this computer. Because if I zoom out here, I have this weird Xbox 360 controller that my brother made, and honestly, it feels a lot like a regular steering wheel, and that's why I like it. Because he decided to put this extra part here, and then underneath, which you still can't see, is I have these pedals that I zip tied to stay. Those are supposed to be for rudder pedals. I like doing aircraft things. Yeah, it's a sweet wheel. I mean, it's 14 inches. Jeremy measured it out, which is like the average for a regular car. And it feels a lot like a wheel. And then I just have like the pedals for the 360 controller. I may have to get this upgraded though, because for one, if you look here, it only goes like 140, 150 degrees in either direction. So drifting, not going to happen. Trying to correct a really bad turn, not going to happen. It just doesn't work out that way. So I have to get to like a 900 degree wheel at least. Also, the pedals on either side, they are not separate buttons like the Thrustmaster. So when I press the gas, I press the brake at the same time, it evens out the... It's kind of like combining two waveforms. I don't know. It just doesn't work. So if I press these at the same time, it's like I'm not pressing it at all. If that makes any sense. So I can't actually do the heel toe when I'm shifting, which is a no-go. So I'm gonna have to get an upgrade to that. Might even add that to my list, to my Twitch list, whatever that is. Yeah, I'm gonna add it to this poll. But yeah, so let's go to Steam, go to Assetto Corsa. I bought pretty much the whole game. It was quite cheap. It was like $25, but it is a simulator. And what's really cool about the simulator is that it's really easy to connect things to it. I can run the Thrustmasters with this steering wheel at the same time. Which is really neat. I'm going to double check, make sure they are working. And you can do mods. So you can do track mods, you can do car mods, you can add cars that aren't normally in here, and you can make them yourselves, like in 3ds Max. So obviously everything's working. So this is me, my brake pedal and my gas pedal at the same time. That sucks. So it's brake, gas, just stinks. But I put my clutch on my Thrustmaster. I don't know what's moving around over there. It doesn't matter really. Obviously my steering wheel only going 140 degrees, and that's the end of it. So I set it to 40 degrees to make it the most accurate compared to my steering wheel. And I went to advanced. Went to advanced over here. Speed sensitivity was important, because if I didn't set the speed sensitivity, it would actually act like it was a 1080 degree wheel, and I do not want that. I wanted to make it as act as much as possible as this, because I don't really plan on overcorrecting all that much, because I'm just worried about finding the right line. And the reason why I'm trying to find the right lines is because I'm actually going to recreate all the tracks that I'm going to be driving on using Racetrack Builder. But first, in order to make it as accurate as possible, I needed to create the car that I wanted. So I went and found a mod online of a BMW M3. Now I know it's an M3, so I was able to find another mod where you could do engine swaps. And the car that works best for engine swaps is actually the BMW M3 E30. If you were to look at its stats, 238 brake horsepower, 240 foot-pounds of torque, and a 4-cylinder. Now, I watched a YouTube video with my brother online, and it showed, so it showed a 330 Ci doing a 0 to 130 run, and I did an engine swap of the M3 into the E46 using the mod, and it just so happens I also changed the weight a little bit too using the mod. It's a pretty cool mod. If you guys want, I can show like a video of me of going through the process of actually creating a custom car. But you just go here. Once you get your customization, it just says BMW E46 M3 smaller engine on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that right by the Stig. Yeah, so I click on that. So there's my car. That's essentially, I mean, the suspension's a little stiffer, but, you know, I got BC coilovers on my car already. So it's going to feel like an M3, all in all, especially with that powertrain. So I'm going to go ahead and drive. Select the track. I want Laguna Seca because I'm comfortable with it. Let's see if this loads. How's it working? Did it work? Is everything okay? Did it really just survive right now? Everything's still in line. That's fantastic. Can you still see me, Will? Tell me everything's okay. Rudolph Cheese, what's up, dude? Oh man, this is great. Can you see the stream? Please tell me if you can see the stream. It almost died on me. Anybody? Anybody? Yes, you can. Perfect. Good. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go back to this. All right, so this is my car. I don't know when you came in here, Rudolph Cheese, but I created the channel. This channel is for streaming my car on the track in real life, and I decided to use, I'm at the point now where I'm talking about Assetto Corsa, where I want to use this car that I modified to work just like my 330 Ci. It's in the BMW M3. And I'm going to kind of do a simulation of me driving on the track because I want to recreate the tracks that I'm going to use. Yeah, it wasn't your net. It was my crap. Oh, I didn't know it was Randy. I'm stupid. Hey, Randy. Yeah, it wasn't your crap. It was my crap. So I decided to just start driving on this game because I found out that this is actually a way that you can create tracks using Racetrack Builder. And I'm going to pull that up in a second. Hopefully it doesn't make it crash like this did. And I'm so happy it still continued going. I love this computer. It's the greatest computer ever. So, yeah, I just give it a shot just to kind of show you guys how realistic this game is. Just let me know if it's like too loud, too quiet. Actually, I'm just going to turn it down just a little bit anyway because it seems like it's super loud. So you can see the gas and the brakes over there and the clutch. Hey. No. This is, I mean, it's because it's the intro stream. I got the 3 cameras just to show that the 3 cameras can continue to go throughout. I mean, I could turn them off, but I don't care right now. Yeah. All right. So try this. Oh, I already got it. It's already set up wrong. So when I turn the wheel, just 140 degrees, it decides to go like 900 degrees. Wrong. So let's exit that right quick. Ah, crap. See what falls into the Stig's chest? Is a wonderful wheel whenever you follow me. Thank you so much for that follow, man. Let's see. Go to settings. No, trust me. These cameras are just there as a example. They don't need to be there. Just don't need to be there. View. Let's change this to 140. Let's drive. Let's start. Please don't crash this time. Don't crash. Don't do it. You can handle it. Of course you can. Because you have a 1070 in you. It's amazing. Alright. Let's drop the clutch. That was great. See, I would have... If I were to do this normally, I would actually have 3 cameras because one would be on me and the wheel. Another one would be kind of on my face. And the last one would be just on my feet. My brother does a stream like that. It's pretty cool. He's on my list of people that I'm following. On my followers list. He's an artist. He does this on Forza Motorsports. Don't crash me now. Is that a song? Alright, I'm taking this lap really slow. It's that bogging in 3rd gear. Actually, so I wanted to continue on this. So when I did the engine upgrade on this car, I just checked it and I was like, wait, if I do the engine upgrade, I'm just going to do the transmission upgrade, which means the gear ratios might actually be the same. And when I looked up the YouTube video of my car doing a 0 to 130 miles an hour, it was exactly the same gear ratio as well. So, which is going to be even more perfect for when I actually rebuild tracks like Thompson Speedway, Cannon, or Palmer in Racetrack Builder for this game. It should be very, very accurate. I've seen people actually make Thompson Speedway. I was seeing one guy, he actually is from Mystic. I asked him for the track. I don't know if he's ever going to give it to me. He didn't say. He probably has it somewhere. But I'll probably just model it myself, and I'm going to stream the modeling myself. Sim. Video isn't updating. You're moving, and your camera is updated. Oh, the game's stuck. 1 second. How about now? Is it working now? See, the thing is, I don't actually have it set up as like as an actual game capture. I just have it as like a screen capture. So let me know if it's working now. But yeah. So, so the gear ratio is exactly the same. So when I actually make the track, I should be able to make the same types of shifts at the same times, certain areas of the track. It'll just make me really understanding the of the track before I even touch it. And that's really the whole goal of doing all this. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it'll help kind of create content as I wait for track days or as I wait for days to actually modify my car. Yeah, that little ghost, it's like almost kind of like a helmet eyebrows. This is someone else's mod. So he decided to add a helmet and didn't actually model it properly to fit the screen. So it's a little weird. I love that this is actually working with just yeah, being cold outside, like I'm not gonna want to work on my car all the time. My hands are so beat up right now. I know I'm going to have to work on my car probably starting next week anyway. I may even stream getting my Civic ready for emissions and adding the battery in it because it's just a really cool concept, just electric cars all together. Let's see if we have a better time here. Because that was my screen settings. Steering wheel, I could probably turn better than that. I was thinking about streaming the battery. I mean, it's a pretty easy job. It'll only take like maybe 45 minutes, but it'd probably be good practice. And just to, checking things with a voltmeter and making sure I don't electrocute myself. I don't know if I really want to stream it because I want to pay attention to what I'm doing. But once you turn off everything, it should be fine. That was a bad shift. Enable two-sided. It's an old joke. It's so old I don't even know what it means. Probably got under 2 minutes here, which is actually a respectable time for it. Especially with such a slow engine. Maybe not with a turn like that. Yikes. Oh yeah. DBS max, yep. Yep. What'd I get? 155. Okay, that's fine. I think my best time was like 151 with this car. But yeah, so that's pretty neat. So the real thing that I'm probably going to be spending most of my time on is not that. Yeah, I got a 151. It's quite a hard game to play. But it's super sim-like, and I love it. I think it's even, in my opinion, I think it's even more sim-like than Forza Motorsports. Even Project Cars 2, I guess, is like comparable. But people like the way the game plays better. All right, exit out. There you go. All right, everything's still working. Good. So, racetrack builder. This is a really neat thing. So I click on this. Hopefully it doesn't lag out. Open a project. New project. So what happened was I used Google's API to map out exactly the right dimensions of how big a track is using Google Maps. And with that, you can actually get a really high definition image of the track itself. So I already started building a little bit of track just to see what it's like. And it's going to take a lot of modification, but this is essentially the track that I raced twice. And I actually just raced, all I did was on my third time, it was just a regular track day. You started here, everyone got lined up, and you just went for it. Went through a series of strange sets of cones all around this back section, and then you came in here, did a slalom, came around, came back, came down in, and this is where you got timed. This was like a 50-second, 52-second time to do all that. I do want to see if I can actually model and set up cones. Yeah, 512 gigabyte. I'm definitely gonna need, especially. I mean, I plan on actually getting the 1 terabyte NVMe, if that's even possible. But 512 is gonna either upgrade the old one that I have, or the one you actually just gave me, which again is awesome. Thank you for that. I was able to house this game, and this racetrack builder, which is huge files, especially with all that information. But yeah, so modeling this is going to be insane. Someone has already done, I think, Palmer. I'm going to try to download that and see if I can modify it to make it even better. But there's like little divots and little things that slow down your car or make it harder to turn. You can walk in with a uke. I don't really care about it. Just don't interrupt me. Just play in the background because it sounds nice. I have a 2 terabyte NVMe Evo. See, shit like that. Makes me wet on the inside. But yeah, this is it's Thompson Speedway. You were standing here. You were right there. It's great. So I'm gonna model this track. See, this is the track I already started building on it. This is one piece of track. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time just doing this, streaming this. It's gonna be probably like a creative stream. Hey, whatever you want to do, babe. I'm all ears and toes. But yeah, I'm probably gonna start when I come into that track day. I'm probably gonna start streaming as I drive in right here. I'll probably set up the stream right in this area before they open the gate. I'm gonna drive in, change my tires, make sure that's caught on the stream. I'm gonna walk around with my Unreal 4K. Yep, drifting sections right here, where we saw those guys fail in that first video that I have on here. Yes, so you actually can pull it in from both Google Earth or Maps, because you're just using Google's API settings. Let's see if I can pull that up. It's pretty crazy stuff. I had to go through a whole tutorial to do. Application programming interface. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I bet Will could probably explain it better through text on here than I can. No, I don't want to do it that way. Google API. I just want Google API. Woo-wee. All right. Yep. No, this is my computer freezes. It can't handle something. It might be too hot. I might have to. Don't worry, this happens when I try to stream. It's amazing that it comes back. I usually if I'm doing this, it's blue screen of death. That's it. It's just over. And Naomi waves in the background. So anyway, so you can both do Google Maps and terrain. If I see, I got to learn all the controls for this. I want to be able to tilt it because you can actually see there's a terrain change as well. That's also through API, and it's also to scale. So you don't have to mess with the scaling at all when you use Google API and download exactly from Google Maps or Google Earth. It just does it all for you. That's the really cool thing about Racetrack Builder. Now there are people that are wizards at this. It's like being a wizard at Paint. It takes more practice and creativity to be good at making a track than actually using proper tools. And that pretty much describes this program. I mean, there isn't much to work with. You just have to modify every single detail. And like I'm scrolling in so much right now. And I'm afraid to use this program. There is a way. Like it just doesn't want to. It's just crap. It's just crap stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's it for that. Let's see. Yeah, it's because I'm probably the first one in. That's what happens. Oh man. So Will, or anybody else, do you have any questions about this situation I'm trying to get at? I know that Randy, I know you came in later, so there's the whole first half of the video then explaining every little detail of exactly what I want to do with my little race car and my little race thing. I'm just want to put a streaming PC inside my car and stream my car on a racetrack, for the most part. And I have ways to show how to do that. This is obviously zoomed in. There you go. Yeah. So the time to beat, I want to be able to beat. Sorry about that. I mean, actually, I have my link for my Facebook in my description. And so I don't really care. Actually, I brought up Facebook to show off Greg's new channel on YouTube. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a videoception going on right now. Yeah, I mean, I understand. There's security reasons, and people don't want their personal stuff on there. Being as I have barely anyone on here, I don't really care all that much. Later on down the road, obviously, I don't even plan on bringing that stuff back up again. And I'll probably even try to edit this video, just a tiny bit, just to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong with that. Well, I can keep racing on Assetto. Or, you know what? I'm going to do a comparison just for fun. We're going to do... Ooh, I wonder how I can do this. No, that's not working out at all. Well, if you want, Will, or if anybody wants to, I'm going to do a 330 Ci. Acceleration. This is one I did mostly because I like the aircraft reference, 0 to V max, which is the max speed an aircraft can go. We should race one day. Any of your cars will beat it. But if you see what the shift time is, what was that? Just above 30. They're probably right around 60. And then right about 90, I think, for this. 95. He's already, what is that? About 50 already. Oh, he's still got fifth gear going on at 120. I think this guy's actually having Vanos problems too, because he's having problems with power decreasing. But you compare that 0 to 60 and the actual shift times, and if you go back over to Assetto, hopefully it does not crash again. Good luck to me and to all. If you want to open a new browser and play the same video you're watching now and just rewind it and compare the two, it's incredible. So what did I say? It was just like right above 30, right about 60, and then 95 miles an hour, and then 120, something like that. Yeah, I'm not done yet. I just wanted to see this. Oh, please load. There it is. There we go. Good. So there's 30. Well, obviously it's in kilometers per hour, but right at 60 is 100, obviously. It takes forever to get up to fourth gear. It'll probably turn around. Alright. Settle down. Alright, I think what I'm going to do... Yes, the RPMs are different. I understand. But I'm paying attention to this because also the speed was the same too. My brother decided to do. Actually, here's a better way to do this. I would play the video on my phone at the same time as my brother. Actually, I'll probably even do that. Where's my phone? It's in front of me. Perfect. Good job, Will. Thanks for that. And I'll show you why the RPM doesn't really matter. 330 CI acceleration. All right. So we'll select a track. And what's really cool about this game, you also have the, Northfield, the fucking way too long track, and you also have drag strips. I love it. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I could do this. This is going to be hard. This is going to be impossible, but I can't wait to do it. There's 40. He gets to 60. I got to 60. But essentially, you get the idea. Yeah, the game you couldn't really see. Oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, the game you really couldn't see. I see why you couldn't see. Come back, game. There you are. Whatever. Well, yeah, it's really hard to compare. Okay, so just take my word for it. Jeremy and I, we actually he hit the gas at the same exact time that I hit the play button, and it was nearly identical. The shift change times, the mile per hour at which the shift change was, the amount of acceleration between the shifts. Like, it was nearly identical, and it just blew my mind that I was able to just throw an M3 engine from an E30 and put it in the E46 and just, lighten it up by like 100 pounds and then see what happens. Yeah, I just wanted to show that. So essentially, I have my car to play with on tracks that I get to build. And hopefully the dynamics will be close enough to where I will actually do myself a service to practice online before actually going out on the track. I think it'll be a lot better than just watching YouTube videos of other people doing the track, because they're going to take different lines. They're going to have different cars, obviously. They're going to have different shift times. It's just not going to be super beneficial for me. I'll just have a general idea. Well, this way I'll actually be able to put my practice, down on the track. But yeah. So I'll exit out of that. Yes, leave Assetto Corsa. Your pompous ending. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream now before it lags out again for some reason. So is there anything confusing or anything you just don't really care to see or care to see in the future or right now? I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. I could show off these beautiful wheels again. Yeah, I really want to see it too. Want me to see if I could reload it and oh yeah, I brought this up. I brought the tire up. Oh, come on. Where'd my chat go? Streamlabs sucks. Yes, close that. Give me my chat back. Huh. Well, I'll just go to Twitch then. Just me and my wheel hanging out. Just relaxing with my wheel. What? What happened? Yeah.
On the top, behind your camera legs.
Behind my camera, what?
Your camera legs. Like, literally, the standard camera.
Oh, yeah.
Click on editor.
Editor.
Oh. It is gone.
Oh, right here. This little arrow. I found it. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I mean, I would watch me make a track too. I mean, that's what I. Oh wow, this thing's like lagging out. All right, I would watch people make a track too. Oh, by the way, that little Ford Focus ST right there. That's the guy I want to beat. I watched probably close to an hour of people using Track Builder just to make sure it's something I wanted to include in my stream. And then I also got distracted to the point where I was like, wow, this reminds me of 3ds Max. And, yeah, this microphone's super focused. Sorry. Yes, project for the microphone, Naomi, please. That's why whenever I'm in the background, I always project. Whenever I know we stream, I'm like, oh, it's Randy. Ha! Ha! Who wants to see my knees and listen to stuff fall? Yeah, that's how I roll. Yeah. I'm a human projector. See, these are my wonderful wheels. They're 16.55 pounds. I'm just gonna start repeating myself now. I got all kinds of sweet toys here. But you know what? I think I'm done. I can't wait to start building on Track Builder. That might even be my next stream. I might not even work on my car yet. I think I might just use Track Builder and just get confused and annoyed throughout as I piece together drum stem. Oh yeah, because my drum set's behind me. We could play drums, and this mic, even though it doesn't pick up stuff from the background too well, because it is a condenser mic, it picks up stuff that's far away nicely and evenly. So I was contemplating actually. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna play right now. I was contemplating actually, maybe streaming some band practices as maybe filler videos, though they do get quite just really bad when it comes to talking about things that aren't good for public ears. Inappropriate, that's a good one. And of course we're always joking around and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'll add something there. Or I'll just stream it early on, and if there's anything stupid in there, I'll cut it out and use that as a VOD and be like, hey, this is what I like to do for fun in my life. It's a pretty sweet room. Yeah, trigger. Yeah, I'm gonna put like all over the screen if I do it, like in giant red lettering, just like there will be racist stuff. There will be things like swearing and hate speech and hate speech at each other. There will be there might even be small fist fights. I have no idea. But if it does happen, remember, it's all just a joke. Even when there's blood, it's just a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's music. Music is love. And sometimes the love is hard. And that's why we do the things we do. But that is my baby over there. Everything I need is in that kit. I can't stop looking at it. Yeah. We just wanted the sound effect in our recording as just like that bone crunch. We just wanted that as like a snare hit instead of an actual snare. I think I would like that. Oh, and the shink of like being stabbed. That's such a cool sound too. Like we needed that in our recording. Yeah. Anywho. I love watching chats. I think that's probably the most fun thing. And it makes this so much more fun. Just talking. So yeah, I'll leave it. I'm gonna end it pretty much now. I'm gonna go over to the results that I uploaded. Let's see, time trial. Here we go. So the last track day, I got a 132.5. The guy I want to beat is in D class. That's the class I'm supposed to be in. I just put myself in there for fun because there's a bunch of slow-ass Miatas. DK, what up? Thanks for the follow, dude. Welcome to my crazy, crazy stream. It's going to be so much fun. Let's see. Yeah, so the guy I want to beat is this Focus. He got a 126. That's the best I've ever seen him do at this track. It's a sweet car. But yeah, just like how you have to deal with on Gnome's channels, DK, as I overheard, I have to end my stream now. So I'm sorry you came in now. And if you'd like, just go back and watch the rest of the video to see the VOD, to see exactly what this channel is going to be about. I hope I'm able to continue this with many, many streams per week. And I hope to see all you guys there. If you want, just let me know in the next streams what you'd like to see, and I'll try to go for it. Don't forget to check out Greg's stuff again. Yeah, poor DK. Sorry, dude. But there's a lot of cool content here, and I'm show off my rims twice. It's great. It's good stuff. But yeah, I love you guys. Thanks, Will, for hanging out this whole time. I really appreciate that. Definitely helped me keep me on track. And yeah, next time for sure. I'm gonna be working on some track building probably. It's gonna be really painstaking. But yeah, see you guys later. Have a wonderful night.